Hey, it's Dr. Schmidt. I have 7 slides here about red meat and mental health. Now, there's no study that I found that was a trial where they actually experimented on red meat and mental health. Like, for example, if you have 2 groups of people and you tell this group to eat 50% more red meat or 50% less red meat and to see if they got happier or sadder. That hasn't been done that I know of. If it has been and you find it on PubMed, please let me know. But let's talk about these studies that I did find that kind of paint a picture. So this says low cholesterol, impulsivity, and violence revisited. Current opinion in endocrinology, diabetes, obesity report. So here it's talking about, it says men seem to be more sensitive to low cholesterol levels as the association between low cholesterol levels and aggression is found mostly in men. So do women get angry when they don't have enough red meat? No, they get sad and depressed. And so it says lowering cholesterol levels with statins brings about several changes in serotonin, nerve cell membrane function. It goes into physiology. And then it says it needs precaution needs to be done in susceptible individuals. Well, how do you know if somebody's susceptible to being angry when they're eating low cholesterol or on statin drugs? You just have to watch their behavior. So put somebody on a vegan, vegetarian, or low-fat, low-cholesterol diet. They start to get upset, angry easily. All these little things bother them. Yeah, have them eat fat. So next slide. Ketosis is a valid therapy for mental health. Those are my words right there. Here's the study at PubMed. The ketogenic diet as a metabolic therapy for mood disorders, evidence and developments. It says ketogenic diet should be considered as a promising intervention in research in mood disorder therapeutics, especially in treatment-resistant presentations. They have to say that last line. A treatment-resistant presentation is somebody that's on Prozac and they still feel bad. So now they say, then do ketosis. It shouldn't be that way. It should be first do ketosis. And if that doesn't work, then you do Prozac. But that's the current state of the medical research. It's pretty lame. All right, next slide. Carnitine for major depression. Acetyl-L-carnitine deficiency in patients with MDD, major depressive disorder. So exploratory analyses show that the degree of carnitine deficiency reflected both the severity and age of onset of major depressive disorder. So if you have a large amount of carnitine deficiency at a younger age, you're going to be depressed, more depressed at an earlier age compared to other people. Moreover, these analyses show that the decrease in carnitine was larger in patients with a history of treatment-resistant depression. So again, somebody that doesn't respond to Abilify, Wellbutrin, et cetera, they have a larger degree of carnitine deficiency. This is a big deal. You can go to the health food store and buy carnitine powder or eat red meat. That's the best source is red meat. Okay, fats and happiness. This says efficacy or how well does a treatment work. Efficacy of omega-3 highly unsaturated fatty acids in the treatment of depression. So what they did is they took EPA fish oil. There's 2 workhorse nutrients in fish oil. EPA is uplifting and energizing and happy, and DHA is calming and relaxing with somebody that's maybe ADD or anxious. So they took fish oil that was more than 50% EPA, and it demonstrated clinical benefits compared with placebo, whereas DHA did not. Okay, so that's not a surprise. DHA did not help with depression, and it's not supposed to. The EPA does. We carry a product called Omega Bright, and there's not a lot of EPA heavy fish oils on the market. You can find Omega Bright, I think, on Amazon. Just you need to search around for that. Sugar equals depression. So sugar intake from sweet food and beverages, common mental disorder and depression, prospective findings from the Whitehall 2 study. Our research confirms an adverse effect of sugar intake from sweet food beverage on long-term psychological health and suggests that lower intake of sugar may be associated with better psychological health. Okay, this study is, most people know that sugar makes you feel bad, but it's kind of lame because it's truthful, but they're focusing on sweet food and junk food. But let's say you cut that out, and let's say you still are eating low fat, low animal protein, lots of vegetables and fruit. You can still be depressed because your cells are still burning sugar. Now, if you eat just junk food and pop all the time, you'll be more depressed probably. But just because you cut out the junk food and you're still not like trying to get into ketosis, and you're still not trying to reverse your fat deficiencies like the healthy fats, you'll still be depressed. Okay? So just cutting out junk food and going vegan, for example, it's not going to solve depression. Okay, vegetarian men are more depressed. Here we go. Conclusions. Vegetarian men have more depressive symptoms, this is very interesting, after adjustment for socio-demographic factors. Nutritional deficiencies such as, for example, in cobalamin or iron, are a possible explanation for these findings. However, reverse causation cannot be ruled out. So that's a great statement. I'm glad they put that in there. So is it vegetarianism causing depression? Or is it that depressed people become vegetarians? Either way, we have to fix both problems. Okay, now I put this statement down here. Organ dysfunction causes inability to digest protein and fats, causing depression, causing the avoidance of meat. I've seen this before in myself and other people. When I had the black mold, it was in my heart and in my lungs and stomach and intestines, and I couldn't digest red meat. I avoided red meat for 6 months. This is the summer of 2016. Now, if I didn't know better, I would blame the red meat. And I had not yet found the black mold. Once I found the black mold, I fixed that. Then I could eat more red meat. I have it every day now. So I went back and forth with a guy on my YouTube channel, and he's very nice, and he said that he craves red meat every day. And he's been avoiding it for a year because when he eats it, he gets arthritis. So that's what I said. A guy said he was craving meat, but was a 1 year vegan because meat caused pain, which is leaky gut, which is autoimmune. So what organ dysfunction did he have where he couldn't digest the red meat? So it's a difference between what's a trigger versus what's a cause. The trigger for him was red meat. The trigger for me was red meat. The cause for me was black mold. The cause for him, I don't know. He doesn't know the cause either. That needs to be discovered. Okay, so vegetarian men are more depressed. Last one, myoglobin feeds the heart. So myoglobin facilitated oxygen diffusion. Myoglobin is oxygen and iron in the muscle. You eat muscle meat, and the myoglobin in there feeds your muscles. Okay, so it says myoglobin facilitated oxygen diffusion, maintains mechanical function of mammalian cardiac muscle. So I've seen over and over and over again when people have a weak heart, men and women, I do the muscle testing procedure. I can find weak heart, like the upper part of the heart or on the side. That will make people depressed. If your heart's not functioning very well from head to toe, you can feel weak, your muscles are tired, and you just don't have the stamina, and you mentally don't feel good either. So red meat, myoglobin, saturated fat, omega-3 fat from grass-fed beef, carnitine, all these nutrients in food put together make you feel happy. The opposite of this is always burning sugar, whether it's only vegetarianism, only junk food, that makes you unhappy. And then I could double, triple the number of slides here, but it's always the same story, and I see it all the time. It turns out to be truthful in real practice too, with my patients, etc. So there you go. I just wanted to point out how red meat is actually quite important for mental health in the majority of cases. And I do know people that they can't have red meat because their bodies weren't built that way. And that's true too. But you have to know the difference. And if you're like all grumpy and pissed off and wanting to fight people and you're trying to save the animals, it's not a good enough excuse. You're causing too much harm in the world by creating hate and discontent all over social media, with your family, with your neighbors, with your family, and with yourself. So my suggestion is if you need to eat red meat because your body needs it, then you should go ahead and do that. All right, if you like this information, please give me a thumbs up and share and subscribe. And if you want to be a patient, the best way to reach our office is through our phone number. All right, see ya.